Hello and welcome to the Insights and Motivation YouTube podcast. Yes, this is an AI-generated content, but remember, there was a human at the beginning of it, creating and curating this material with care and purpose. I request you, dear listener, to step aside from any bias and listen to the message itself. Take the message, not the messenger. That is the key. The same is true for the rest of the playlists and podcasts on this channel, each designed to inspire thought, dialogue, and transformation. Now let me begin the podcast. Democracy in universities and colleges. Freedom and rights. Freedom and rights take on a sharper dimension in universities and colleges. These institutions host young adults navigating independence, forming identities, and testing boundaries. At this stage of life, the freedom to speak, create, and challenge authority is not a luxury. It is the very mechanism through which students discover who they are and what they believe. A university that respects freedom of expression does more than educate. It liberates minds. Why is this principle so necessary? Because young adults are at a psychological crossroad, transitioning from dependency to self-authorship. They need spaces where they can explore controversial ideas, debate fiercely yet respectfully, and experiment with creativity without fear of suppression. When freedom is curtailed, students internalize the lesson that conformity is safer than authenticity. But when freedom is honored, they develop courage, self-confidence, and critical thinking. The advantages of embedding freedom in higher education are immense. Debate forums cultivate students who can argue their points with clarity while listening to dissent. Open choice projects foster creativity, allowing students to align their academic work with passions and personal values. Anonymous feedback systems empower students to critique systems without fear of reprisal, thereby strengthening accountability. Together, these practices produce graduates who are not only knowledgeable, but also independent thinkers. Sadly, many universities struggle to uphold this principle. Speech codes, restrictive policies, or a culture of political correctness sometimes silence students rather than encourage dialogue. Certain perspectives may be discouraged because they are unpopular, leaving students with the impression that freedom is conditional. This undermines the very spirit of higher education, which should thrive on the contest of ideas. The results of ignoring freedom are evident in campus life. Students become hesitant to speak their minds, fearing judgment or punishment. Creativity is stifled when projects must fit rigid molds. Over time, students carry this fear into workplaces and society, resulting in professionals who are competent but unwilling to challenge authority, propose innovation, or confront injustice. Silence becomes a habit, and democracy suffers. But when universities embrace freedom and rights, transformation follows. Classrooms become arenas of intellectual vitality, where diverse opinions sharpen understanding. Student publications, forums, and debates blossom, fueling civic engagement. Artistic expression thrives, giving students confidence to communicate their truths. Most importantly, students learn that freedom comes with responsibility. The responsibility to respect others' voices, to engage constructively, and to use their rights to build, not to destroy. Freedom in higher education also nurtures resilience. Not every idea will be accepted, not every project applauded, not every opinion agreed with. But these moments of resistance teach students that disagreement is not danger, it is dialogue. They learn to handle rejection, refine arguments, and grow stronger in conviction without silencing others. If universities ignore freedom and rights, they will produce graduates adept at following but incapable of leading. But if they uphold these principles, they will shape individuals prepared to engage boldly with a complex world. These individuals will not shy away from conflict, but will see it as an opportunity for growth and transformation. The campus then becomes a living democracy of ideas, where freedom of speech, creativity, and respectful questioning are not abstract ideals, but lived daily practices. By embedding these values, universities prepare students not just for careers, but for the lifelong work of engaging meaningfully with society. Did this podcast resonate with you? Are you an educator or a higher authority with the ability to influence educational policy and reform? If so, I encourage you to share this podcast as widely as possible within your connections, and do share and subscribe to this channel. This channel has lots of playlists and educational, psychological content with a focus on how to improve all systems of education, corporate culture, and many such topics. Thank you for listening, and stay tuned for our next podcast.